Hey everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 BMW i4 M50. So that basically means there's no gas in this car. It's an all-electric 4 Series. Yeah, let's see if this has enough juice to get me wanting a full electric BMW. Let's get started. We get started in the front, and the obvious thing is the frozen Portimao blue. I'm probably butchering that, but you know what wasn't butchered? This blue. This thing looks incredible. So it is a flat finish to this. It looks so nice. This is probably one of the nicest blue. And I said that for the M2 CS. That would have been nice with this color. It just looks really good. And surprisingly, it's actually really easy to clean or keep clean. My only concern though is if you have a little bit of a greasy hands or just any grease, it will show up, but then it somehow disappears because my door handles look clean, whatever the case is, but I do love the blue. Now, yes, we're gonna talk about the grille. And honestly, I think this larger kidney grille fits really well with the electric, because with styling, with electric cars, it's always that quirky, like sometimes ugly, iX, yeah, design that they use for it. Sometimes it's like, why not just have a normal car and electrify it? Pretty much this. And that's what I love about this i4, is that it looks like a standard 4 Series. I sent the picture to my buddy and he goes, "Oh, you have a 4 Series this week?" I said, "Yeah, but it's a little bit special." And it's because it's all electric. But yeah, again, I love the fact that BMW just took a normal 4 Series Grand Coupe and made it electric. So yes, I think it looks perfect with the larger kidneys there. But we do have the BMW laser headlights, which just looks so nice, especially with the blue. A little bit of a brighter blue than the actual color itself, but the design just looks so nice. And we have carbon fiber bits in the front, which is nice. Then just some blocked off panels, because again, we don't really need that high performance cooling for this electric vehicle. But yeah, it looks really nice. I do like, again, the kind of flat color to really the whole color scheme to this. But yeah, now let's actually go ahead and look under the hood, and guess what? We can actually open this hood, unlike the iX. Let's take a look at what we have there. We get under the hood that we can actually open this time with a BMW electric vehicle, and we basically have this. It's completely covered up, but don't worry. Let's go through some specs first. So we do have the 5th generation eDrive from BMW, and this is the all-wheel drive dual motor setup. So we are looking at 536 horsepower and 586 pound-feet of torque, and that would equate to up to 270 miles to a full charge. Now, as well as performance, you are looking at 3.7 seconds from 0 to 60. Yeah, it's insane. It literally is insane. What's funny is that I was thinking, when we see those numbers of 0 to 60 that all these car companies, you know, kind of say that it does, you think about it. How much gas was in that tank? You know, was it like a liter, a gallon? You know, was it full? Was it half? You know, that varies the time. Not with electric cars though, because you charge it and it's going to be completely charged and you're not adding any weight to it. So that 3.7 that they measured, it's going to be 3.7 unless you've had a few tacos like I have. So maybe like 3.9, I would say, with me with me in it. But it's insane that you can literally get that number with this. It's insane. The drive is really nice and comfortable. You know, it's really quiet. It's not like the iX, which just the fans were constantly running in that. In fact, it was too quiet that midweek I realized, what's going on? Like, why isn't there any life to this? Like, I felt bored driving this, and it's because I didn't have the iconic sounds option turned on. Yeah, some previous person had turned it off. I had to turn it on, and at that point, it made things fun because you felt like you're in a spaceship, and you know, it had that whirring sound. It gave us a better experience with the BMW i4. So definitely a massive thing you're gonna want to do is turn that on. Now let's take a look at what we can actually access. We open this up and we do have a coolant option here, and over here, let's see if we can, it's where you would service the AC. So this is where you're gonna be servicing the AC lines there. And yeah, that's pretty much it, till I can do this as well to show you guys what we have under here. So yeah, this thing is huge. There's a huge electric motor right up front. Crazy thing is the mass of it actually looks a little on the higher side. I would have expected this to be a little bit lower, but yeah, it's a little bit on the higher side. I can see yeah, just everything is, you know, we have some body bracing here to make sure everything is nice and rigid. But yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I wish I could store some stuff up here though, but we have that trunk, which is plenty of space. I'll figure this out. But there you have it. I'm probably gonna have to figure this out right after I stop filming. But yeah, that's what this guy has under the hood. Let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We got it. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have the nice 20-inch wheel option, and it is wrapped in the 255/35 in the front and 285/30 Pirelli P0 tire. Now, this thing is awesome. First of all, the wheels look big, they look nice. I love the design of this wheel here. We also have the nice super sticky tire, the Pirelli tire. We have tons of grip in this, and you're gonna want this amount of grip because this thing can really go with that electric acceleration. And they're super smooth though, comfortable, which is nice to have. You know, really the best of both worlds. We do have the M Sport brake option on this. They look really good. I love it in the blue. Again, it matches really nice with this blue here. But overall, I love this package. When you put it in sport mode, it feels great. When you put it in comfort, it feels so relaxing. The other with the suspension, the other thing as well is with this, with the dual motors, I feel the tires grabbing the road, you know, when you accelerate really hard. And that's what I love about the feedback that this setup gives you. You're able to then essentially correct your steering wheel, if you know what I mean, for it. But it's just really nice. I don't think I would change it. It's a big wheel, nice tire. It just works really well in this. Let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see, yeah, it's basically a 4 Series Grand Coupe. And if we take a look at the proportions, we can see that it's very rear heavy regarding the content of it, the proportions, so to speak. Because we have this long hood, but then everything just kind of collects back here. And it is because of the fact that we have the Grand Coupe option. It kind of shrinks that rear. And makes it look like everything is just kind of collected there, and essentially doesn't give you that additional space that you would see maybe in a normal sedan. But yeah, overall, it's a nice look. It's growing on me. I didn't quite like it 100% in the gray one that we reviewed, but I don't know. I guess it's the color. This color just looks so good, and there's little things here and there that I think make it a little bit better. So we get started, you know, kind of on the front, and we see those nice big 20-inch wheels, which fill the wheel well really nice. Again, we have this nice blue. We have some arrow bits here. We have the black to kind of break up the sea of blue, so to speak, which is nice. design aspect there. We have carbon mirrors, and we do have kind of the M style carbon mirror here, which is nice. We have the 360-degree camera on there to make sure we don't ding anything in this. And we look at the door, and the handles are nice and smooth, so they're not popping out, so they are kind of shaved in, so to speak. And we just have some nice lines that just kind of disappear, which is a nice little touch to this 4 Series. But yeah, overall, I really like the way that the proportions look to this. Now I do. I'm getting to love it a little bit more. Now let me go ahead and grab the key fob from off camera so we can take a look at the keyless entry. So I'll go ahead and grab this guy. And as soon as we get close, key fob was in my pocket, it unlocks for me, and I can go ahead and open this up. And I'm good to go. I can go ahead and close this off and lock it, and now grab the back door handle and it will unlock. So thank you BMW for getting it right. It's such an easy keyless entry. The only thing though is it is a little bit of an awkward like kind of lift to it because there's not much to actually grab under here. So you are kind of having to make sure you grab this and kind of pull on there. But we can do that and then close, and that's it. It actually works really well with how I think keyless entries should work. Well, let's go ahead and head to the back and see what we have back there. We get to the back, and this is where this BMW excels. Now, honestly, this does give me kind of Alpha Giulia vibes to it, and it's not a bad thing. It's a big compliment because it just, I don't know, something about it gives me that vibe. But it looks good. I love it. So a couple of things. We get started on the top part here. Yes, we have a carbon fiber little spoiler, little trunk spoiler here. It looks so good, and I'm so glad it's in carbon fiber because against this blue, it just stands out so much, and I think it's really perfect. This is the option you're gonna want to put on your i4. And yeah, we take a look at the taillights, and the design is just really nice. A really nice taillight design to this. We come down a little bit more carbon bits. Love this, love this that it's there. And we have this kind of rear diffuser. The exhaust cutouts have been replaced with more arrow pieces, which is nice. I like it. You're not trying to fake it with any fake exhaust tips or anything like that, but it still looks nice and it looks functional. Not sure by how much, but it's still a nice design to it. But yeah, overall, I do love the rear to this. Now, this does have, again, with it being a Grand Coupe in essence, this whole thing is like a hatchback. Now, it does have the kick option, so let me see if it'll work for me. And yeah, looks like it's not going to. I've been fighting this thing for so long. I don't know if it's, yeah. By the time, just push the button. And there you go. It opens up, and there is a ton of space in here. I have my equipment here, no issues with getting a massive grocery order that we had earlier this week. So this is one of my favorite things about this. There is a little bit of storage under here, but you have that big Harman Kardon subwoofer on the side there, and we have a little bit of storage on the right though. But overall, yes, this is what I like. Bigger than a normal trunk, and still looks good. Yeah, so I do love that. The only thing with the key fob is that, yeah, it's only a release, a trunk release. It's not a locking system. It's not a closing system either. So let me see if I get lucky. I'm probably doing this wrong, but it said, there we go. I think I figured it out, hopefully. For that one time, but it has a button on top nonetheless to get this guy closed, and yeah, it looks really good. I love this. This is so nice. Well, I'd say let's use the key fob to turn it on, but I can't figure it out. I don't think it has it. I tried the typical BMW 1, 2, 3 and hold, but it does not start up. I think I have to be signed in, which with this being a loaner car, we don't have those login options. But let's go ahead and jump in and go for a ride. You get inside of the BMW i4 and it's normal. It really is. And just like I mentioned, the outside, you really can't tell this is different than a regular, you know, BMW 4 Grand Coupe. But yeah, we get inside and it's comfortable, it's nice. This does have that tan leather option, as you guys can see, but it's pretty nice. Let's get started. On the door, again, very comfortable, nice positioning with the armrest. The only thing is that the windows up and down switch is a little on the cramped side. Like literally my whole hand couldn't fit the width of that opening there. So you kind of have to do one of these to push a button instead of doing this to push the button. So yeah, that was just kind of one of those things where I found a little kind of, uncomfortable. But yeah, everything else, the top armrest is fine. The finish on these look great, feel great as well. No complaints there. We get to the seats and yeah, we have these nice looking seats again with that tan color, very comfortable. These do have the heated option, they don't have the cooled option, but we don't need them today because somehow we freakishly have 77-degree weather in summer. But I'm not complaining after the multiple 100+ temperature days. But yeah, they're really comfortable. You know, headrest is nice. Side bolsters are nice as well. It's just really good, and they have power seats, unlike that situation that I had with the actual Grand Coupe that we had. But yeah, it's good, and no complaints there. We get over to the steering wheel, and this is just a BMW steering wheel. Nothing fancy about this. I mean, it is. It's the standard of BMW for steering wheels are good. They're significantly better than others. It is leather wrapped. We do have the blue and the red M style stitching, which is nice on this. It does feel good. The shape is nice. There's something missing to this wheel. Yeah, and we'll discuss it. But yeah, on the left side we have the cruise control. On the right side we have the volume and radio, that kind of controls there. We do have the heated option down here. And again, the give to it, or the squeeze to it, is nice. It's fairly good. What it is missing is paddle shifters. I know it doesn't need it because it's electric, but I just feel like my hands immediately, as soon as I grabbed this wheel, I went to go like this to give myself space for the shifters. That's how, yeah, that's how programmed my mind is to want that in this kind of car. Yeah. I do kind of miss that gas engine though in this, but let's move forward. So we have the gauge cluster, and the gauge cluster is nice. You know, we have those kind of like bracket options there. We do have the option of changing the layout and the content of what you wanted to actually have. The music really was what I've had in the middle, so no complaints there. I mean, it's nice. It's similar to how we had it in the iX. So yeah, I'd say it's good. It's nice design there. Then we get over to the infotainment display, and it is massive. It is widescreen. It is wireless Apple CarPlay widescreen. So it's the trifecta: wireless Apple CarPlay and wide Apple CarPlay. So it is a nice display. It looks great. The user interface for this is horrible though. There is so many options to this. So if I go home and I go to menu, everything, so we'll start way at the top. There are all of these options for things to do. It is extreme amount of things. Yeah. To the point where it's a little difficult to kind of get to what you want. I'd like a settings and then really just kind of branch out from there. But yeah, there is a lot of things in here that I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'm not, it's just a lot of things to deal with in this user interface. So I've just tried to keep in Apple CarPlay as much as possible. The previous system was not perfect, but it definitely felt better. And then comes to my next thing, the climate menu. Yes, the climate menu, I'm having to come back to this, which I did not like in the iX. And it's just, I'm having to really, have everything disappear when I just wanted to make it maybe a little bit less strong of a fan. But it's just, okay, cool. Now we have that, and now I have to go back to my media to get that going back. But I don't know. It definitely needs some improvement, and I wish that, I wish we had hard buttons for the actual AC controls. Yeah, not sure why we're kind of getting rid of that in favor of this. Then we come down a little bit more, and we have some basic radio controls. We have your volume, your next track, previous track, your hazards, and then your defrost options. Then we come down and we have the carbon fiber cover that hides the wireless charger as well as the cup holders. We do have a USB-A connection on there as well. Couple of things with this is the cup holders are really difficult to use here because they are kind of, if you have a bigger cup, it's going to get hit by, or it will be hitting that little cover on there. In fact, I have this just regular water bottle and it's almost touching it there. So yeah, just be aware that you may not be able to have bigger cups there. The wireless charger has been great. Just place it there. Thank you for having it hidden. Thank you for having that little door, unlike we did in the iX, which was a pain that, my phone was at like 3% and I needed to charge it and I couldn't charge it because it was overheating. The pad was overheated because of the fact that it was kind of exposed and it wasn't covered like that. We come back a little bit more and we have basically your control center, so to speak. We'll get started on the right side, which is where you have kind of your wheel. You're able to kind of just move things, like spin the actual wheel, and you're able to also just push the joystick. So it actually goes, in this case, goes to the next song, which is a nice touch to have. If I don't do it on the steering wheel itself, I have that option here. So nice touch there. Again, the quick menus buttons are a godsend in this user interface. So definitely something that you need. Then we come over to the left and we have the shifter. It is a normal shifter. It is not the crystal shifter we had in the iX. So yeah, it is a nice shifter, just basically your BMW style shifter. So it's nice. We do have the reverse, neutral, drive, park, obviously, and then we have the B for braking. So this does have essentially the one pedal braking, which you can set up. And even though you can also set it up in drive mode, but you can set the sensitivity up if you want to have that there. But yeah, I've been in B 99% of the times and I love it. That's usually the way that I like to drive my electric cars, or one pedal driving really. And then on the left hand side we have some fun buttons. We have traction control off, we have your camera button, so we do have a hard button for camera, parking assist, and then we have start stop in blue. That was a nice touch. That I did love a lot. So that was small little detail, but yeah, in blue is nice. And then we have a drive mode sport, comfort, eco pro, and then our auto hold. What I love about this, we can modify the different individual settings for each mode. So if I'm in eco like I am now, I still love a good stiff steering wheel. So I like the feedback, or a sporty feel or heavy feel to the steering wheel. So even though I want to be economical, I still want to have that feedback from the wheel. So I am able to do that. Or reverse, if you want to be in sport mode and have it be really sensitive to your throttle input, but you want the steering wheel to be a little bit softer, you have that extreme that you can go to, which is nice. Good to see that you have that flexibility. Then we get to the armrest, and it's nice. It's comfortable. It's got that brown tan leather on it as well. No complaints of positioning or size or anything. We open up and we have, it's okay. It's got space. It's got some space for a small box, but nothing big, so don't expect to have a lot of space in there. We get to the back seats, and the back seats are Grand Sport comfortable, which means not very. They are a little bit on the smaller side. My kid is fine sitting back there. It's a little bit on the smaller side for backseat passengers. And then we have the trunk area, which I loved. Tons of space there. It opens up that hatch style, and you're able to just load everything up in there. Now let's talk performance. We're dealing with the 5th generation BMW eDrive, and this one has the all-wheel drive option, which means we have dual motors, and they are cranking out 500 136 horsepower with 586 pound-feet of torque. And because this is an electric car, we are able to get a range of up to 270, with this being the M50, which is the essentially the more the sportier model for the i4. Now, comparing this to the iX, that did 0 to 60 in, I think, like 3.4 or something. I'll clarify that specific number, but this does it in 3.7. Yeah, so we have significantly less power than we did in the iX, but significantly less weight as well. So yeah, that's a big thing. And this has been, I don't know how I feel about this, because you still have the crazy, so let's switch it over to sport, and we have sport boost. Yeah, so it gives me a little boost, and it's kind of showing me, so you have like 15-second intervals of boost, and it refreshes or regenerates every 15 seconds. It's crazy. Yeah, it's literally like video games. Now, the response to this has been really great. I mean, it's electric power. Now, it was something that was missing in this, and midweek I realized it's the sound. Someone had turned off the iconic sounds, which is basically like the whirring, the whooshing, the electric like spaceship style sounds that this thing makes. Yeah, it was just kind of dead. and it was a little too quiet. Yeah, I was jamming, cranking up my jams with the nice Harman Kardon system, which I love in this, but it just was too quiet, and it just, I needed something more, especially after driving the M4 and, convertible, and even the Grand Coupe gas. It has that sound that was so addicting. And again, I was missing those shifts to do, but yeah, this is fun. Let's so we'll go ahead. We have it in sport mode. We have the brake. Hold it down, and it's gonna jiggle. As you can probably see. Ready, go. Oh. Okay. I did not. That was fast. That was really fast. The other crazy thing is I did not use up all my boost. Yeah. Let's just say by the time you're used up all your boost, those 15 seconds, you're definitely breaking the law. But it is so good. And the way you activate the boost, you do have to really kind of do that little click at the bottom, or basically floor it all the way. But it is just so good. And if you guys can hear the actual let's have another launch. And oh, it is just so good. So we did use about half the boost there, and there you go. I am completely ready for additional boost. It is just so good. It is incredibly good at how responsive this thing is. Now, the steering wheel feels good. In that sport mode, we do get the feedback. We do feel when we're launching it, or when we are, kind of flooring it, we do feel the individual tires moving, which is nice. It's a nice feel to it. But so that's the great thing. Even though it's electric, we're getting a lot of feedback from the suspension, from the tires, from the drivetrain, to kind of, have us adjust or reply, so to speak, with the steering wheel inputs that we may need to add to it. The suspension, yeah, it's good. It feels stable. I feel I like this more than I did the standard 4 Series, because again, we have that low center of gravity. Yes, that's what we want to have. The weight distribution in this, it's just so good. And yeah, sorry, they paved roads near here, but yeah, we can feel those bumps just being absorbed and providing me feedback with what I need to basically change my steering inputs. But yeah, this thing is insane. Yeah. And the brakes are good. To get this big guy stopped, yeah. And they're just completely quiet. Let's go ahead and launch it again. And oh. Yeah, now I know why Formula One drivers have to do so many neck exercises. This stuff hurts. It really hurts to get this, you know, every time you accelerate. But overall, is this the better 4 Series? I don't know. I like the whir sounds, but I like the snap, crackle, and pops that we were getting with the M4. I don't know. I don't know if I can fully say I'd like to go electric with a BMW like this. It still is fun though. It's super addicting. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like I need more. But what I do love about this is that it's a regular car. It is a regular 4 Series Grand Coupe that has an electric system. It really is. So if you like the styling, you wanna not have to deal with over-the-top electric car styling, iX, which was definitely one of the things that I didn't like, the fact that it was ugly outside. And this isn't, and we have that same fun factor that we had in the iX that we have, you know, in this. So it's still fun, but it still looks great. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the BMW i4. And remember, make sure you jiggle when you launch control. See ya!